The film begins by showing the history of the world, which has always been at war, until in August 1967, a skilled Ukrainian geneticist named Dr. Pyotr Litvenko began research with the aim of creating genetically enhanced super soldiers or humans without emotions to be used as killing machines. With this research, Pyotr succeeded in creating Agent 47 with a barcode number behind the agent's head. Not long after, Pyotr, realizing that he had caused many irresponsible parties to exploit the results of his research for evil purposes, decided to escape and hide the results of his research. Some parties then tried to restart the program Pyotr created, but all efforts failed miserably, so they decided to search for Pyotr's whereabouts, including a ruthless scientist named Dr. Darigo, who unexpectedly found the whereabouts of Katia, Pyotr's daughter. One day, Darigo's headquarters was hacked by someone, causing all guards to immediately secure the scientist. Several guard cars were seen leaving the headquarters for a place without realizing that an automatic device had attached a bomb to their cars, causing several guard cars to explode on the way. Fortunately, Darigo survived and arrived at his hiding place to avoid the hacker targeting him. Upon arriving at the hiding place, Darigo immediately ordered his subordinates to prepare, but unfortunately, both of the scientist's subordinates were eliminated by Agent 47, who had successfully hacked the headquarters and eliminated all of Darigo's subordinates. After the escape of Pyotr, Agent 47, who was known to work for another party, intentionally pursued Darigo to obtain information about Katia. At that moment, Darigo was forced to provide information he knew after Agent 47 threatened to kill the scientist. Just as Agent 47 was about to leave after obtaining the desired information, Darigo secretly intended to attack Agent 47 from behind, but with the superhuman abilities he possessed, Agent 47 sensed this and eliminated the scientist. The scene then showing a place in Singapore, where Syndicate International led by Leclerc had learned of Agent 47's killing of Darigo and obtained information about Katia's whereabouts. Leclerc then immediately ordered his subordinates to find Katia before Agent 47. From the investigation conducted by Syndicate International, Katia was reported to have secluded herself in Berlin, Germany, unaware that she was being targeted by several parties looking for Pyotr, whose whereabouts she did not know. For several years, Katia had been searching for Pyotr, but unfortunately, she had not found any clues about her father. One day, while Katia was walking home to her residence, she suddenly heard and saw glimpses of a couple arguing in an apartment not far from her location. When she learned that the husband was about to attack his wife, Katia promptly contacted the police before anything bad happened to the wife. Upon arriving at her residence, Katia immediately took calming medication to alleviate the disturbances caused by her superhuman abilities. According to her, these abilities was an affliction that needed to be treated because she often felt disturbed by various sounds and glimpses that she could perceive from a distance. Additionally, her abilities often interfered with her concentration in searching for Pyotr. That night, Katia, who was asleep, suddenly woke up after having a vision of Agent 47, whom she didn't know, heading to her residence. Because of this, Katia quickly prepared herself, taking some important belongings before deciding to flee. Upon arriving at the station, she was approached by a man named John Smith, who claimed to have come to protect her, and because she had no other choice, she reluctantly complied with John's orders, even though she didn't know him. At the same time, Agent 47, who had also arrived at the station and learned of this, tried to stop John's actions until they both fought on the train tracks. In the midst of the fight, John realized that a train was about to pass over the rocky rails, so he quickly climbed aboard to take Katia away, while Agent 47 was forced to lie on the tracks and wait for the train to pass over him. At that moment, John, knowing that Agent 47 would continue to pursue Katia, decided to take her into the American Embassy building in Berlin and intentionally shot several guards so that they would be arrested by embassy personnel. Unexpectedly, John's idea did not stop Agent 47 at all, who appeared to intentionally enter the embassy building even though he was armed. His actions then led to Agent 47 being taken to an interrogation room where Sanders, who was representing the embassy, immediately interrogated Agent 47, regarding the long-barreled weapon carried by the agent. At that moment, Sanders seemed to question Agent 47's identity, which was not registered in the American Citizen Database. Meanwhile, Agent 47 appeared to be observing Sanders and noticed Sanders' family tattoo, which he then used to provoke Sanders' emotions until Sanders shot Agent 47 using the agent's long-barreled weapon. After that, Agent 47 quickly rose to remove the handcuffs from his hands and then attacked Sanders and his subordinates. On the other hand, John, who was in a holding cell and heard gunshots, quickly disabled the guards so that he could immediately take Katia away from the embassy building because he knew that Agent 47 had entered the building. After that, John and Katia stole a police car and hurriedly left the area of the American embassy. Meanwhile, Agent 47 disguised himself as a guard to deceive the soldiers who came to secure the embassy building after his attack. With ease, Agent 47 managed to escape from the soldiers and quickly went to a rooftop to target Katia, who was in the car. With his skills, the agent managed to shoot Katia's arm, prompting John to decide to hide with her in a hotel so he could treat Katia's wound. At the hotel, John confessed that he worked for Syndicate International and was assigned to protect Katia from being chased by Agent 47. He even knew some information about Piotr, who had lung cancer and mastered several Asian languages that made Katia immediately match all the clues from John. From all the information she had previously obtained, Katia finally learned that her father was likely hiding in Singapore. Shortly after, the phone in the hotel room rang, so John answered it immediately, and at the same time, Agent 47 appeared and shot John until he was incapacitated so he could take Katia away. Not long after, Katia woke up in a place tied to a wooden chair. At that moment, Agent 47 explained about John, who only wanted to use Katia to find Piotr, while Agent 47 claimed to be the one who would protect her. The agent said that he intentionally shot Katia's arm to implant a tracking device that allowed him to track her whereabouts. Upon hearing this, Katia appeared confused, so Agent 47 asked her to use her abilities to read his mind. Katia then got a glimpse that they both were part of the same program created by Piotr and had been separated when they were children. From that glimpse, she finally believed everything Agent 47 told her. Shortly afterward, Agent 47 asked Katia to hone her abilities, which were known to be superior to his, by placing her in a still-bound state in front of the rotating aircraft turbine. At that moment, Katia had to try to save herself before the turbine blades tore her body apart. Without needing much time, she managed to free herself from the bonds and successfully escaped from the test given by Agent 47. At the same time, Syndicate International forces had managed to enter the building, so Agent 47 immediately taught Katia some ways to deal with enemies. At that moment, Katia was surprised to see John still alive, even though she had previously seen him being shot by Agent 47, who now faced John after incapacitating all of John's subordinates. They appeared to be attacking each other until John finally managed to corner Agent 47 and asked the agent to admit that he was far superior than the agent. Unexpectedly, John had been obsessed with the reputation of Agent 47, dubbed as the perfect killing machine, so John wanted to get direct recognition from Agent 47 that he possessed abilities superior to the agent's. Seeing this, Katia took the opportunity to shoot John until he lost consciousness before she and Agent 47 fled from the pursuit of Syndicate International. Not long after, at a safe location, Katia questioned why John could still survive despite being shot multiple times. Hearing this, Agent 47 explained that John was one of Syndicate International's experimental subjects, with a layer of liquid titanium added beneath John's skin, which helped his body to withstand bullets and attacks from sharp objects. Katia seemed to believe Agent 47's explanation, and she later informed him about the estimated whereabouts of Piotr in Singapore based on all the information she had gathered. Therefore, the two of them hurriedly flew to Singapore to meet the scientist. Meanwhile, Leclerc, who had learned that Agent 47 and Katia had successfully escaped from Syndicate International's attack, ordered John to search for and capture the two individuals. Quickly, John returned to the hotel to search for clues from the various information Katia had obtained, and he eventually realized that his targets would go to Singapore to catch up with Piotr, so he immediately informed Leclerc of this. On the other hand, Agent 47 and Katia, who were at Singapore airport, they both tried to avoid the surveillance cameras in every corner of the airport because they knew that Syndicate International controlled all access to information, including surveillance cameras in Singapore. Unfortunately, when Katia was in front of the airport, she was caught on camera getting into a car driven by Agent 47. That night, they were at the hotel to rest before searching for Piotr. At that time, Agent 47 was seen intentionally closing his eyes while sitting on the sofa with 2 firearms beside him to stay alert. When he fell asleep, Katia quietly took the 2 firearms and dismantled them in the room to study the weapons used by the agent. Because of this incident, Agent 47 seemed overwhelmed when facing Leclerc's henchmen, who managed to track down him and Katia. Nevertheless, Agent 47 eventually defeated Leclerc's henchmen and decided to immediately take Katia to meet her father. With the clues that Katia had, they both went to a building where Agent 47 intentionally exchanged an inhaler belonging to a young boy with a folding knife while he was inside the elevator. Without much delay, they met Piotr, who was in a botanical garden, and Katia, who hadn't seen her father for a long time, questioned why Piotr would leave her alone. At that moment, Piotr admitted he had to leave Katia to save her from the pursuit of many parties who wanted the agent project to restart. Additionally, he added that all the data many parties were searching for was in Katia's DNA formula, so she must not be captured by irresponsible parties. During the conversation, the Syndicate International group disguised as civilians attempted to attack Piotr and the others, prompting Agent 47 to protect them immediately. He then take them into a car to evade the pursuit of John and his henchmen. Agent 47 then asked Katia to use her abilities to assess the situation and show them the way to escape from John and the others. Unfortunately, upon reaching an intersection, their car was surrounded by the Syndicate International group, and even the car had several binding ropes shot, rendering the agent unable to move his vehicle. With no other choice, Agent 47 had to engage in a shootout with the group while taking Katia and Piotr to a safer place. During the shootout, Piotr was shot, forcing Agent 47 and Katia to leave him behind, but the agent secretly slipped an inhaler into Piotr's jacket pocket. Shortly after, Piotr was taken to the Syndicate International building and forced to provide information about the formula for creating killers like Agent 47. John even resorted to torturing Piotr to make the scientist reveal everything until Leclerc arrived to interrogate the scientist directly. At the same time, a helicopter piloted by Katia flew by the side of the building where Piotr was. On the other side, Agent 47 had successfully hacked the building's security system and made an announcement through the loudspeaker that all the data Leclerc looking for to create killers like him was in Katia's DNA. Seeing Katia's helicopter beginning to destroy the building, Leclerc decided to flee, taking Piotr with him, who promptly took the inhaler given by Agent 47. On the other hand, Agent 47 is seen successfully sneaking into the building using a firefighter uniform towards Leclerc's office. When Leclerc and the others enter, Agent 47 shoots at them, but John, who is providing security, manages to protect Leclerc by blocking the bullets using his palm. Shortly after, John and Agent 47 then engage in combat, while Leclerc takes Piotr to go to the rooftop where his helicopter is located. The fight between John and the agent appears to be evenly matched because Agent 47 cannot harm John, who has a layer of liquid titanium beneath his skin. John continues his attacks until the walls of the room collapse, and that's when Agent 47 has the idea to immobilize John by using the electrical current from the cables in the shattered wall. Shortly after, the idea proves successful as John becomes incapacitated, allowing the agent to join Katia, who is attacking the guards. Meanwhile, Leclerc, who is carrying Piotr, has reached the rooftop and is preparing to escape. While Agent 47 and Katia try to stop the leader of Syndicate International, but they are too late as Leclerc's helicopter has taken off. At that moment, Piotr, knowing that the inhaler has been modified into a mini-bomb by Agent 47, presses the button without hesitation until the helicopter explodes, killing both of them. After the incident, Agent 47 contacts his client to report that their target, Leclerc and Piotr, have been killed in the helicopter explosion. Unexpectedly, the client also wants Agent 47 to kill Katia. Hearing this, Agent 47, who surprisingly has emotions like an ordinary human, chooses to save Katia instead. This angers the client, who orders another agent to complete the mission and eliminate Agent 47. In the end of the film, it shows Agent 48, who has a similar build and face to Agent 47, emerging from the elevator to carry out the mission from the client. Agent 47 and Katia are surprised by the new agent sent by the client, and because Agent 47 wants to protect Katia, he shoots Agent 48. On the other hand, John is shown to regain consciousness after being shocked by Agent 47 before, and the movie comes to an end. Moral lesson from the story: never take two guns apart to study them when you're supposed to be on guard duty, or you might end up having to fight off a whole gang of bad guys with just a sofa cushion.